call the roll.
Yes, Mayor. Mayor Bright Cruz. Vice Mayor Hartman.
Here.
Councilmember Albritton.
Here.
Councilmember Jablonski.
Here.
Councilmember Kaczynski.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Please join me in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great, thank you. All right, so this is the second and final budget hearing for the upcoming year. And to start us off, Andy, I believe you have item to read.
I do, Mayor. Thank you. Just going to lose that for this part, if I may. First of all, welcome all of you tonight. This is the last step in the budget process, which began back in February internally. Following tonight, we hope to have a budget in place for October 1st. And I want to thank all of you in advance for the time, the attention that you devoted to this process as well. I can't say enough nice things about Marty and the finance team and the work that they have done, as well as the department directors here. This is, I talk about government all the time as a team sport, and putting a budget together is truly the culmination of that team effort. So I just want to thank everybody for what they've done in this process. I do have a legal disclaimer I need to read tonight into the record. The presentation of the fiscal year 2021-2022 millage and budget pursuant to Florida statute, chapter 200.065, section 2, paragraph E1. The first item to be discussed tonight is the percentage increase in millage over the rollback rate and why. For fiscal year 2021-2022, the town of Southwest Ranches, Florida, is considering a levy equal to its current millage rate of 4.2500 mils, which is considered a 4.93% increase over the rollback rate of 4.0504. However, and this is critical to note, fiscal year 2022 eligible Save Our Homes exemption property owners, their change in net taxable value will not exceed 1.4%. Although the town does have annual increases primarily from higher contractual costs pertaining to the fifth year of a 5-year public safety services contract for both police and fire, these expenses are able to be strategically offset to enable the town to retain the millage rate from the prior fiscal year via the following. Current economic environment, due to COVID-19 pandemic and alleged transitory inflation, supports no change to the millage. The growth in net new taxable value of almost $51 million, representing over 38% of 8.54% in total townwide growth, which is also a record for the town. Transportation, surface drainage, ongoing rehabilitation, otherwise known as TSDOR, surtax-funded projects continue to be eligible for what used to be referred to as surtax, is the Mobility Advancement Program. Therefore, it does not require funding primarily via millage for the upcoming fiscal year. Those TSDOR non-surtax projects utilize a portion of the existing committed fund balance in lieu of millage funding. The total reduction of the prior year's debt service provision enables its appropriation within the general fund. Significant grant funding obtained and proposed budgeted with minimal town matching required. And the anticipated continuance of heightened building/permitting/zoning non-ad valorem activity helps offset a millage or ad valorem impact. Finally, this budget provides for the funding of some program modifications, including quality of life and service level improvements, public safety, parks, recreation, open space, and other transportation capital improvements. After numerous advisory board meetings, council discussions, and a budget workshop, the revised budget totals $21,462,582. This includes a general fund budget totaling $14,330,301, just over half of which provides for police, fire protection, and rescue services. A capital projects funds budget totaling $267,450 to not just maintain facilities, but also improve our public safety as well as infrastructure. Special revenue funds budget comprising of the transportation fund totaling $3,912,124 to maintain as well as improve streets, roadways, and drainage, and the volunteer fire fund totaling $237,354. a debt service fund budget totaling $1,004,741, which provides for 1 year of principal and interest payments on existing loans, as well as for migration towards debt freedom due to the recent town's favorable Series 2021 refinance. And finally, an enterprise fund comprised of the solid waste, bulk waste, and recycling utilities budget totaling $1,710,612. The millage rate and budget required 2 public hearings. The initial hearing was held on Monday, September 13th, 2021 at 6 p.m. And tonight is the final hearing and adoption. And that concludes those comments, Mayor. I thank you for allowing me to get that into the record. And if it's okay with you, I'd like to turn it over to the finance team.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Andy. Marty?
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, members of the public, staff. We are at the final stage, as Andy has indicated, our final millage adoption and final budget adoption. We have a short PowerPoint. We split it into 2. We're going to read the resolutions first, but let me cover some housekeeping. Throughout the room, we have the PowerPoint that's on the display for you to take home and available. This PowerPoint will be on the website tomorrow for your use and is based on our proposed budget book, approximately a 7-month process to date that started back in March that can also be found on the website. I'm holding it up for the camera, so those that would like to locate it, they'll be able to find it on southwestranches.org. Okay. Let's go into and read the millage resolution, please, Town Clerk.
This is a resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Southwest Ranches, Florida, approving and adopting the final millage rate for taxation of real and personal property lying within the boundaries of Town of Southwest Ranches for the 2021-2022 fiscal year, commencing October 1st, 2021, and ending September 30th, 2022, providing for severability and providing for an effective date.
Need a motion? Yes, please. I'll make a motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Good.
You need a second, or did you second it?
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm looking for a second.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. The slide, what we're going to show tonight on starting on slide number 4 is our property tax millage introduction. We're going to compare the municipal rates, ours compared to all the other municipalities in Broward County. We're going to give you Southwest Ranches historical and our proposed total millage rates, the total millage rates, which is our debt service and our regular operating millage and TISDOR millage. And then third, we'll be covering overall millage as a percentage to the total county-wide direct and overlapping millage. In regards to our millage comparison narrative, currently for fiscal year 21, our operating millage plus the TISDOR millage is the 5th lowest total combined operating debt millage rate among all Broward County municipalities. The rate as proposed tonight retains our position of Southwest Rancher at the 5th lowest of 31 municipalities. And accordingly, the relative position of Southwest Ranches among Broward County municipalities still remains within the upper 16th percentile. 26 municipalities are proposing total millage rates higher than the town of Southwest Ranches for fiscal year 21-22. This is a 2-part slide. You will see, as highlighted in deep blue, Southwest Ranches in the 5th slot at 4.25 with no change in our millage rate from this year, current year, or next year. Some of these rates, and most of these rates, are in the 6, 7, and there is one that exceeds 10 mils at 10.1842. Now, slide 8 is a presentation of our historic rates for the past 5 years, plus the proposed rates. And that has our trademark Southwest Ranches Eagle soaring in the sky with a level 4.25 for the current year and for next year as proposed. Our next slide is a representation of the total direct and overlapping property tax rate countywide. Far left corner is highlighted in yellow at our 4.25. You will see we're under 25%. The total bill that the taxpayer pay, less than 25% actually comes to the town of Southwest Ranches. With that in mind, as it relates to total combined throughout Broward County, there is a 6-year history as well as the proposed, and our efforts to lower our rate also is representative of the lower total overall rate as proposed for next year at 17.2649. That's all I have as it relates to the millage. I turn it back to the mayor for discussion and adoption. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you, Marty. And I also echo the comments, appreciate all the work from everybody and the entire team to bring this to us. Is there any discussion or questions regarding the budget item? The millage item, sorry. Seeing none, is there any public comment on this item? Seeing none, Russell or Deborah, I think we're ready to call the question.
Councilmember Albritton?
Yes.
Councilmember Jablonski?
Yes.
Councilmember Kaczynski?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hartman?
Yes.
Mayor Bright Cruz?
Yes,
Motion passed.
thank you. Marty, back to you.
Okay, thank you. Turning it over.
Wait a minute, no, sorry. I got ahead of myself here. I think we need to read in the next item.
Mayor, item 2 is an ordinance for second reading. An ordinance of the Town of Southwest Ranches, Florida, approving the budget of the Town of Southwest Ranches for fiscal year 2021-2022, commencing October 1st, 2021, and ending September 30th, 2022, providing for a budget basis, providing for expenditure of funds, providing for carryover of funds, providing for notice, providing for severability, providing for conflict, and providing for an effective date.
Great, thank you.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Thank you. Marty. Or Rich.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Marty. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the final portion of the budget meeting, which is to go over the fiscal year 2022 final budget adoption, second public hearing. This first slide, we will discuss the general fund revenues by function and where they come from. We currently have the $14,330,301 in the proposed budgeted revenues for fiscal year 2022. So where do these funds come from? A majority of the revenue, $6,798,011, which makes up 47% of the total revenue, come from the ad valorem property tax. The next largest amount, or $2,546,708, which makes up 18% of the total revenue, come from the special assessment revenue. This is our fire assessment revenue. $1,892,417, which makes up 13% of the total revenue, is our franchise and utility taxes. The remaining revenue, which makes up a total of 22%, is from permitting and licensing, intergovernmental revenue, and other services revenue. Here we will discuss the general fund expenditures and where they go towards. We currently have the same $14,330,000 in the proposed budgeted expenditures as we did revenues. As you can see, a majority, or $7,577,375, or 53% of these expenses go towards the public safety, which is our contractual obligation for the Davie Fire and Davie Police. The next largest expense is the general government, consisting of $2,669,455, or 19%. mostly consisting of our in-house departments, including legislative, executive, legal, finance, and town clerk. We also have general fund transfers of $1,881,913, which makes up 13% of the expenditures. And the remaining 3 expenditures, or where these funds go, is a total of 15%, consisting of the physical environment, our Parks, Recreation, and Open Spaces Department, and the Community Services. Here we have our 6 general budget assumptions for fiscal year 2022. We have our summary document, which is on a fund-by-fund basis. We want to keep our rates as low as possible while meeting our costs. We have no additional borrowing for fiscal year 2022. We have conservative projections under a COVID-19 pandemic environment. We want to maintain our service levels while addressing council policies as well as priorities. And ARPA, which is the American Rescue Plan funding, it's not budgeted. However, these projects are in development. Next, we will go through our program modifications funded for proposed fiscal year 2022. As you will see on this slide, and the next slide as well, being our volunteer fire department, that we have a total of 12 different program modifications. Also, as you will see, we have 6 of these program mods, which will have no millage impact for the town of Southwest Ranches in fiscal year 2022. Next, we will go through our capital improvement projects funded for proposed fiscal year 2022. As you will see here too, we have a total of 9 capital projects proposed. Of these 9 capital projects, 8 of them do not have any millage impact to them, with the only exception being the drainage improvement project, which is non-surtaxed. And lastly, we have our budgeted process calendar of events. We had the first budget meeting, which was held on July 29th for the preliminary millage and initial fire solid waste assessment adoption. And here we now are culminating in tonight's meeting for the second public hearing for millage and budget adoption. This is all I have, Mayor. Back to you for comments and questions.
Great, thank you, Rich, appreciate that. Any further discussion or questions regarding the budget? Seeing none, is there any public comment on this item? Seeing none, Deborah, if you could please call the question.
Yes, Mayor. Councilmember Albritton?
Yes.
Councilmember Jablonski?
Yes.
Councilmember Kaczynski?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hartman?
Yes.
Mayor Bright Cruz?
Yes,
Motion passed.
Meeting to adjourn?
meeting is adjourned. We will get back together at 7 p.m. for the LPA.
That was exciting. Newell, thank you for coming, public.
Yep, public comment.
Did you see McFarland's note? I didn't know there was a co-mayor.